Last month, Governor Tim Walz came under fire for saying this during a commencement speech at the University of Minnesota Law School.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons.
Yeah, how dare he compare ICE to a plainclothes state police force given expanded powers by the federal government to incarcerate enemies of the state indefinitely without any specific criminal charges or trial under the guise of averting an immediate security threat, often targeting people who are speaking out against the government or participating in trade unions, and which bypassed legal government oversight into its tactics. Unconscionable. And for many of you, approximately 54% according to a recent YouGov poll, I may not be able to convince you that these arrests themselves are a bad thing. But let me at least try to explain how the way that the Trump administration is going about their deportation efforts should terrify you. Immigration arrests and deportations have skyrocketed under Trump's second administration, with 100,000 people arrested this year so far. And last week, ICE reported more than 2,000 arrests per day on both Tuesday and Wednesday. These must be the dangerous criminals that the Trump administration warned us about, right? After all, according to that YouGov poll, when asked this very poorly phrased question, 53% of people believe that the administration is prioritizing the deportation of dangerous criminals. But the data shows that almost half of the people who were deported in February had no criminal record whatsoever. And more than half of the people currently in ICE detention have no criminal charges or convictions to their name. Even according to ICE's own press release from back in April, while they attribute 3 out of every 4 arrests from the first 100 days to the nebulous term criminal illegal aliens, the number of gang affiliations and violent or dangerous crimes that they list alongside the 65,682 people who were removed only adds up to 21,631 people. That's less than a third of the total removals consisting of dangerous criminals. And the Trump administration knows that this is the case. As ProPublica discovered, Homeland Security officials knew that more than half of the 238 Venezuelans whom it had sent to a Salvadoran prison had no criminal record, even while Trump was branding these people as savages and the worst of the worst. And the Trump administration has been using more extreme methods to arrest these immigrants, the most popular strategy as of late being to arrest them during their court appearances, often striking when they're at their most vulnerable. This woman was reportedly detained by plainclothes officers wearing masks while her lawyer was in the bathroom, likely because it's easier to disappear someone when a legal official isn't there to witness it. Others are arrested at courthouses after their immigration cases have been dismissed, meaning that by all legal standards, the government should no longer be pursuing their cases. These are people who are complying with the proper legal processes to have their asylum cases heard, or in some cases, people who are actively taking all the legal steps towards citizenship only to be arrested by masked officers as they show up for their court date or their immigration office check-in. Perhaps the most chilling detail I came across was this quote from a plainclothes ICE officer during a raid in Boston. When told that the woman he was arresting doesn't have to be taken into custody after finishing an immigration court hearing, the agent said, "We're doing our job." That's what a historian would call a red flag, and what Fox News would call a bold courthouse migrant arrest strategy. The point of this is terror. The expansion of immigration arrests to courtrooms, to churches, to schools is not a choice based in any logic to identify the most dangerous criminals. Do you think there are more murderers hiding out in schools? Or do you think that the people who are being arrested are fucking students? The point is to instill a sense of fear in a certain population that wherever they go, they will be taken away by men without uniforms. Michael Ebner's book, Ordinary Violence in Mussolini's Italy, describes just this. The arrests and interrogations of neighbors, family members, co-workers, and other witnesses transformed both public and private spaces into sites of fear and intimidation. So is it wrong to call ICE a modern Gestapo? Or, if you're in the mood for some Italian, a modern Ovra? Renowned authoritarianism expert Dr. Phil will tell you that no, ICE is just enforcing immigration law, somehow failing to understand that the Gestapo was doing all their actions in accordance with immigration law of the time. The targets of these two groups are different, but their tactics remain the same. They are operating without uniform, avoiding any oversight from our legislative branch, targeting people who have no criminal history, specifically targeting political dissidents or labor union leaders, and bypassing the judicial system in the process. And sometimes, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck. It is a fascist secret police organization.